So I started learning how to make games 2 years ago, and let me just say I haven't made a whole lot of progress, as much progress as I could have, because I'm gonna tell you guys this: if you guys are also like new to making games, or you want to try to making games, I'm gonna tell you guys something that probably everyone else already said too, people that have been in the same position. But when you're making games, you have to not give up. You have to keep going, because every time that you give up on a project and you don't finish your project because you're just like, man, I can't do this, and you just give up, that you're not going to get anywhere, and you're not going to learn as much as you could be learning. Now, I'm not saying don't ever scrap a game project, any project that you started. I'm not saying don't scrap it, but I'm just saying maybe go ahead and finish it. I mean, you don't have to finish every game, but when you're starting out, start simple, don't start big. I tried to start really big like 2 years ago, and back in 2019 I instantly just wanted to make a 3D shooting game, and let me tell you, I didn't make any progress on that. I didn't know what I was doing. The game was a mess, and it was just, I didn't even get it to a playable state because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know the basics, and I was trying to do the more advanced stuff when I didn't even know the basics. So I kept trying to do game projects, and let me tell you, I made at least 100 projects in Unity trying to make some games, and I think around 18 projects have actually been playable, and some of them are up on GameJolt right now. If you guys want to check it out, I'll leave it in the description if you want to check out my GameJolt page. But most of them that actually got finished were more simple or short projects, where I would learn a little bit during that project, and I can use what I learned for that project to then include it in another project and learn something in the new project, and so on. So you learn something, and then you make a new project, you learn something again, and it just kind of keeps going. And those projects, you're able to use what you've already learned as you're learning something new, and it might make a better, more complicated game. Now, I haven't really made any super complicated games to make, because most of them ended up being a mess and not really completely playable, and I kind of, some of the mechanics are just completely broken. But I have made some games, and on GameJolt, some of them are 3D, some of them are 2D, but I've learned a bunch of things throughout making those games, and I kind of started trying to do the big projects after making some of the simple projects when I didn't really know all the basics yet. I even went straight from 2D to trying to make a 2D platformer to trying to make a third-person shooter multiplayer game, and let me tell you, that did not work because I didn't know what I was doing, and there was so much, like, I didn't even know how to make a first-person controller, let alone make a first-person controller with shooting mechanics and multiplayer. That was just a big task, and I didn't really know what I was doing, and I kept making projects and scrapping projects. And last year in 2020, I kind of gave up on making games for a little while. I didn't make any games. I made some projects once in a while, but I didn't really get far, and I kind of just didn't really do much with Unity for almost that entire year. So anyway, skipping ahead a little bit, I decided recently that I was going to start with the basics again and then build up to a more complicated game. Preferably, I want to make that first person or third person shooter game, because it could be first person or third person, but I haven't made a 3D shooting game really. I've made one, it was really bad, it didn't really work that well, but I want to make one that is a cool game and you can play it multiplayer. But first, I want to start with the basics again, and I decided that I was going to make a 2D game, and I was going to put it on Google Play so everyone can play it on their phone. If you want to play it on your phone, you can play it on your phone. and that's what I wanted to do. So I tried to come up with some ideas for mobile games, and I got an idea. I was like, you know what, I made some games previously, I could just remaster those or remake those and make them a little bit better and then put them on the phone to play, because they are simple 2D games that you can play on your phone. So I decided to recreate my game from 2019 called Heart Attack, and it's basically a game. I'm showing you the old 2019 version right now. It's basically a game where you play as a blood cell and you have to protect your heart from sugar, and there's endless waves of sugar coming to your heart, and you have to destroy all the sugars, and destroying the sugar gets you some points. You have 3 lives, and the heart gets more destroyed the more sugar that hits the heart, and that is pretty much the game. Now I wanted to recreate that and put it on your phone, so that's what I've been doing for the past couple days at least. So let's jump into what I have right now. Alright, so here we are in Unity Editor in Heart Attack. Now I'm actually going to turn this music down a little bit, almost till it's gone, because we're just going to do that. But anyways, this is the main menu for Heart Attack, and this is the high score, so it keeps track of your high score, because that's really the only thing in the game that you're trying to get, I guess is the word. I don't really know. The high score is really the only reason that you would ever play this game more than once, because you want to try to get the highest score, and that is about the only thing in here. This giant YouTube button just opens the YouTube channel. I don't know if that should be in there, but I'm going to include it in there anyway. We got a how to play section. Protect the heart from the sugar. The sugar tries to hurt your heart, and use the joystick to move. Now, actually looking at this, I forgot to change the default joystick to the one that's actually in the game. I will change that later, not right now. We have the credits section, we have the options menu, and now we get into the game. And I warn you, the game is simple, but it's finished. Here we go. So this is what the game looks like, at least on the desktop. It looks a little bit different on the phone because this joystick won't be so massive, but for some reason on the desktop version, this joystick is just the biggest thing. It takes up so much of the screen. I'm already dying here. I gotta pay attention a little bit more, but you're basically going to be flying around trying to protect your heart. You can't leave this box. If you guys can see these like little lines right here, those are to keep you from going too far away from your heart. And we got some heart particles. We got a particle system in the background that is basically shooting out hearts everywhere. And the sugars explode when they die. That's also a particle system. We got a little bit of camera shake when we kill some sugars. And this is basically the game. We have a time that contributes to your score, and then you get a certain amount of points per sugar. The tiny sugars give you more points than the bigger sugars, because the bigger sugars are slower. And alright, I actually died, but the bigger sugars are slower, and so the slower enemies give you less points than the small ones, because the small ones are faster and a little bit harder to catch, I guess, and kill because they're faster. But yep, this is the game. You're a blood cell. The joystick is a blood cell, a red blood cell, and yeah, you're just killing sugars and protecting your heart. So that is my game, Heart Attack. It's going to be on the Google Play Store soon, hopefully. As of right now, all it needs to be on the Google Play Store is to be approved by Google, because it is currently in review right now. So as soon as it gets done reviewing, Google reviews it, or whatever they're doing when it says in review, because it's currently in review. It will be on the Google Play Store, and you'll be able to play it. So if anyone wants to play Heart Attack, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and check the description, because it may or may not be in there. I'm going to try to include the Google Play link if you want to play the game in the description when it's available, though it's not available right now. So if you're watching this video, today or tomorrow, it probably won't be in there. So just check back later in the video, it might be there, or check the Google Play Store, because Heart Attack is going to be coming soon. So as of right now, I want to make some more games, whether they're simple, short games, 3D games, 2D games. I want to make some more games, and I want them to be just I want to make some cool games eventually. So you might see some more game development or game content on here. I mean, it is a gaming channel, so of course there's going to be game content on here, but I might be showing some more games that I have made, some more projects. And if you are excited for that and you want to see some projects, some games by me, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and make sure you hit that bell, because subscribe probably won't do much, so hit that bell so you'll get notifications. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this video, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment below, tell me what you guys think, and if you guys want to play any of my games that I have made so far, check out the GameJolt page. It will be in the description below, and I will see you guys next time.